Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers IV here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, this will be a video message to any and all immigrants from third world countries that want to move over to this country of America so badly and desperately. And I want to start off this video by saying that I feel like, if not all, most of you immigrants from third world countries, or at least some of you or a lot of you, have this very false idea and belief of what America actually is in reality as a country. I feel like so many of you believe and think in your own minds that America is just this country of endless opportunities. And that's a bullshit ass fucking lie, because the only places in this shitty ass country of America that even have endless amounts of opportunities are big cities. And only people who are spoiled and privileged enough of being born and especially raised in big cities are the only ones who get to have those wonderful, amazing, awesome, incredible, endless opportunities. And I also feel like so many of you immigrants who want to come over to America so badly believe in your own minds that America is this just like heaven on earth place, and that this country is paradise. And if only you were able to come over to this country of America, you would have heaven on earth. You would have paradise. You'd be living on fucking cloud nine or some shit. Like, I'm so fucking sick and tired of hearing all of you immigrants thinking that America is just this magnificent, great country in the whole world, and that this country is just like the greatest place on this entire earth. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous, and it's unrealistic. But I feel like so many of you immigrants get these ideas or beliefs or narratives in your minds from, if anything, Hollywood movies, Hollywood TV shows, like Hollywood rap music videos even, maybe, for example. Because all those things, like Hollywood movies, TV shows, and rap music videos, all try to make America seem like this super cool, really dope, awesome, amazing, incredible, out of this world, heaven on earth, paradise on earth place in the whole world. Hollywood, as an entertainment industry, paints this idea or image of America that it's like a super rich country, and that like every single person in this country is just so rich and so successful and is just living the fucking dream life. And that is such a false lie. And you know what? Most people in America are poor as fuck. Most people in America are at rock bottom. Most people in America are not rich, in case any of you immigrants don't know that. And clearly you don't, because so many of you immigrants strongly believe that each and every single person in America is probably rich as a motherfucker, successful, living the life of just bliss, and just living on cloud nine, and living the dream life, and just living it up, living every day like it's their last day on earth, and just having the most wonderful, amazing, awesome, incredible times in their life because they live in this just so great country of America. It's retarded. And it's honestly pretty sad that so many of you immigrants actually believe this, and so strongly too. You believe it to your core that America is just this like out of this world place. It is so stupid of you all to believe such an idiotic thing. And you know what? Do any of you want to fix your own damn country? No. You just want to come over to here. You just want to come over to America and make it more crowded, more populated. And guess what? You all have the rights and privileges of doing so. You know why? Because of liberals in power running this country into the fucking ground. And you make everything so much more expensive when you come over here because America already has way too many immigrants and way too many people in general. But all the liberals just want all of you immigrants to just keep flooding over to this country. Just coming over in the dozens. They just want you to keep on coming in. Just come in, come in, come in, come in. And don't stop. Just keep filling our country with yourselves. And all thanks to bitch-ass liberal politicians that are so evil, so corrupt, so backwards, so upside down, so twisted, so distorted. Yet they're the ones who have the power. They're the ones who have the money. They're the ones who have the ability to just wreck everyone else's lives in this country by making our lives a living hell. And in one of the ways, by just allowing to have open borders and to just allow any and all immigrants to just keep flooding into this damn country. I hate it. I'm sick and tired of it. I've had it up to here. I'm fed up. I can't take it or handle it anymore. It makes me pissed off. And you know, because you immigrants keep on coming over to this country, you know what you do? You make everything more expensive for the people who were actually born and raised here. Like me, for example, you make houses so much more expensive than they already are or need to be because there's only so many houses in America. There's only so many to go around. But when you just keep flooding in and just pouring into this country without any pushback, without any limit, without any boundaries or whatever, you just make those houses and the prices of those houses just skyrocket. You just make houses so expensive and hard to buy for any of us Americans who were actually born and raised here in the first place, unlike any of you. You make food more expensive. You make everything in this country more expensive because you just keep coming in and flooding in because you want to so badly and desperately move to America. Rather than, fixing your own fucking country, or at least trying to, you're like, fuck my country. Fuck the country I was born in. Fuck the country I was raised in. I hate my country. I'm so ungrateful for the country that I was born and raised in. I love America. I want to move to America. I want to become an American. I want to have and live the American dream. I want to have the dream life. I want to become rich and successful. And like so many of you immigrants honestly believe that pretty much every American is like a fucking millionaire or billionaire. It's so ridiculous and so insane that so many of you immigrants have that idea, have that belief, have that notion or narrative that you believe so strongly that each and every single American individually is very rich and very successful. I just cannot believe that so many of you believe that bullshit. I cannot wrap my head around why so many of you believe that. Oh, wait, I do know why. Because you get your ideas, beliefs, and notions or whatever, again, from Hollywood movies, Hollywood TV shows, rap music videos, and hell, I mean, even all the liberal politicians make you think that, oh, if only you lived in America, your life would be great. You sad, poor immigrants from third world countries, if only you lived here in America, if only there were some way, somehow, for you wonderful immigrants to just come over to America and just flood in and just pour in by the dozens. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And also, no thanks to you immigrants, you pretty much keep the wage exactly the same. You know, you really do. Because, let's face it, immigrants are more willing to work for a much less amount of money than regular Americans who were actually born and raised here, who want a higher a higher wage in general, whether a higher minimum wage or just a higher wage in general. You know, like the price of everything else goes up, but the wage. Prices of houses go up, prices of cars, prices of gas, prices of food, prices of whatever products that are here in America just keep on going up and skyrocketing through the damn roof. But the wage stays and remains exactly the same. A very tiny, minuscule, small amount of money that each and every single American person gets. And when immigrants come over here, they make it so that job owners, managers, or whatever keep the wage low, very extremely low, because immigrants are not as greedy and they're not as demanding as regular ass Americans who actually want and demand and expect and deserve a higher wage to actually live this thing called life. And you know, life in general is so fucking expensive. Houses, cars, food, clothing, whatever it is, everything is just so unbelievably, outrageously expensive in this country of America. And you know, I don't understand why none of you immigrants ever seem to really want to move to, I don't know, the UK, Europe, Germany, Australia, Canada, countries like that. Like, why not? You know, I've heard that the UK has even a less poverty rate than here in America. The UK has a better and much higher standard of living than even here in America with us Americans. And yet, where do most immigrants want to go, or pretty much all? Here to America. Because America is just the greatest and best place on the whole world, right? Right? America's just such a rich, successful country, and every single person is rich and successful in this country, which I guess would include me. And I'm sorry, immigrants, because, I mean, obviously I'm not taking my chances, taking risk, or taking opportunities, and I'm not like doing anything about this $500,000 that I'm sitting on in cash. Like, I'm sorry, I guess I'll use that to try to start my own business or do whatever it is I want or need to do. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, so many of you immigrants actually believe that even me, that I'm successful, that I'm rich, or that I should be, and that there's no reason why I shouldn't be rich and successful, and that I must be doing something totally wrong because otherwise I would be rich and successful. Yeah, it's not easy when you're someone who's been raised in the fucking country where there are no opportunities, where there are no jobs. And it's also not easy when you don't have a car and nor can you afford one. I mean, hell, even cheap cars are $1,000 fucking dollars. And I can never even save up to that much amount of money. I mean, seriously, I'm dead serious when I say that I can never, and I've never been able to save up to even $1,000. Never. There has never been any time in my life of any of the jobs that I've ever had where I've actually been able to easily save money. You know why? Because when I do have a job, I have to spend my money on some things that I actually need, like, I don't know, food, for example. And I have to at least spend around, I don't know, $200. But honestly, I should be spending more like $300 or $400 just to get all the food that I want. And food that will actually, I don't know, last me a while. Because even when I spend, I don't know, like $200 on groceries or $220, $230 when I even used to have a job, it wasn't enough. And the food that I would get would last me, I don't know, like a week at the most, maybe. Maybe a week and a half if I was lucky. Not even a month at least. And I'm spending that money on myself for food that I want. And it's also not easy being me, knowing that I have so many food sensitivities, just a ton of them. So I have to get all these like sensitivity-free foods, and they're way more expensive than just regular-ass, overrated, popular food that most Americans just keep on constantly eating and cannot get enough of. Like, I have a wheat sensitivity, I have a dairy sensitivity, I have an egg sensitivity, a hazelnut sensitivity, and so on and so forth. And it's like, even also knowing what my blood type is, knowing that I'm an A positive, I don't eat as much as someone who would have, I don't know, like a B positive blood type, or an AB positive blood type, or an O positive blood type. I don't eat as much as any of those other blood types. I don't. And a lot of times I'm hungry, I'm starving, and I don't have any money to even get any more food that I want or that I need. And it pisses me off. It causes me a lot of emotional suffering. And you know what? It not only pisses me the fuck off, but it makes me have crippling depression when I can't keep on buying my own food at least. And so you wonder why I'm not able to afford a piece of junk $1,000 used car. You know why? Because there's other stuff I need to buy, like food. And food isn't cheap. It's expensive, especially when you have food sensitivities. But none of you would know or understand that unless you yourselves have food sensitivities like I do. And most of you probably do, but are just unaware of it and would rather stick to keep eating the most overrated, popular, annoying foods like wheat and dairy and whatever. Unbelievable. I'm just so sick of this. And I just wish I had an endless source of income somehow, some way, but I don't. I don't have that convenience of just having an endless, never-ending amount of money just flowing in to my pockets, flowing in to my life, and just constantly keep going and growing. I wish I did. I wish more than anything I had that kind of money, but I do not. And that's why I hate my life. And that's why I hate myself. And I can't find a job that I actually love, that I actually enjoy and that also actually would pay me, oh, I don't know, a lot of money. But just because of the fact that I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade and I chose to not get my stupid fucking bullshit ass GED that can suck my dick and kiss my hairy ass, I don't get a good paying job. No, I don't get that convenience because I dropped out of high school. I don't get to make a lot of money. And I never will, unfortunately. Hell, and I can't even make any damn fucking money on this bitch-ass YouTube channel of mine that I love. But you know what? YouTube isn't paying me shit. YouTube is not considerate and generous and thoughtful of me and how many years I've been spending of my time in my life on this damn YouTube channel of mine, but not making any money though, at all, whatsoever. I mean, the only amount of money that I ever did make on this lousy YouTube channel of mine was like $363 or something like that, except that was like 2 fucking years ago in 2020. And that was after spending like a whole damn year of making YouTube videos. And you know, I wish that I were able to make a lot of money on YouTube. Like, you know how I wish YouTube worked? I wish when you made like 100 views, that was $100. 200 views, $200. 300 views, $300. I wish that was how YouTube worked. I wish, more than anything, that is how YouTube's revenue would work. And I can only wish that because it will never be like that, ever. And if only it were, I would be rich. Or at least I would have a decent amount of money in order to keep buying food that I want. I wish YouTube at least were paying me minimum wage, but they're not even doing that. Every time I make a YouTube video, my revenue goes up maybe like one little tiny dollar. It is so ridiculous. And yet you immigrants think that I have it so easy, that I'm so spoiled and privileged. Oh yeah, I'm so spoiled and privileged because I live in my parents' basement at the age of 25. But I guess even when it comes to someone like me, you would much rather be me and have my life than to live the life that you guys are living in your third world countries. Like, I just find it tragic that so many of you immigrants just give up on your countries. You just give up. You don't even try to fix them. You don't even want to. I mean, let's face the facts here. Not a single one of you immigrants actually give a shit or give a damn about your collapsing countries. You don't even try to fix it. You don't want to. You just want to give up and come to America. Because what's the point of fixing your country, or trying to at least, when you can come to this grand country of America? Give me a fucking break. And you know what I hate? Is that immigrants, when they come over to America, they get so much support from the government. Oh, I don't know, they get free housing and nice jobs and all this fucking nice shit when they come over to here to America. That annoys me. That here in America, our government, which is so corrupt, doesn't even give a fuck about its own citizens. Our inflated, tyrannical government doesn't care about any of us that are actually Americans, that are red-blooded Americans that were born and raised here in this country. We don't get any help. We don't get any support. We don't get any backup. But when it comes to immigrants, oh, they can count on free housing, free money, and this and that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Nice jobs, nice car, whatever. Like, It's like it's just handed to them because America just is obsessed with immigrants. It's obsessed with diversity. Like the liberals are always like, diversity is our strength. Diversity is our power. Pisses me the fuck off. You know, even blacks here in this country have it way better than white people. And you know what? America hates white people or hates anyone who labels themselves as a white person or white people. America despises white people. They persecute white people. They piss and shit all over us white people who classify ourselves as white or say that we are or label ourselves as that. We don't ever catch a break here in this country. We never have any help or support. And you know what? I'm a perfect example of a white guy born and raised here in this country of America that didn't get shit. And my whiteness and me being born and raised here in this country didn't do jack squat for me. And you know why? Because I wasn't privileged enough of being raised in a big city where there are actually opportunities, where I actually would have been able to do something with my life and maybe have become successful and actually had either a good or pretty decent life at least. But my parents didn't want to live in a big city. They hated them. They were sick and tired of them. They wanted to move out of them. And they did me bad. They did me wrong by doing so. By not raising me or any of my other siblings in a big city, they ruined and wrecked and destroyed any and all chances that I myself personally would have had to have made something of my life or made something of myself. To have taken action, to have had opportunities, to have had chances, to have at least attempted to or tried to make myself have a good life, or at least a decent one. I was raised in the country most of my life. And then when I was a teenager, we moved to a small town. And during that time, I didn't want to get a job. I didn't even really want to try because I didn't have the motivation. I didn't have the drive. And I never did have that in the first place. Because you know why? Because I was not born with motivation. I was not born with drive. Nobody ever tried to really support or help me or encourage me to try to take action, to have motivation or to have drive. I lacked those things, as well as many other things in my life. I didn't have those traits, unlike so many other fucking Americans do. I didn't have motivation or drive. As heartbreaking and crushing as that sounds, it was the reality of my life, and it still is now. I'm not really any different than I was than when I was a teenager. And because of how much emotional suffering and trauma I went through as a teenager, all because of that hell on earth place called high school, it just killed me inside emotionally. It killed me. It made me so that I didn't want to take action or to have drive or motivation in my life. It made me not want to be a member of society. It made me not want to try to be a normal person because of knowing since I was a teenager how much of an outcast that I am, how much of an outsider, how much of a reject, how much of a loser, how much of an introverted, secluded person that I am and have been even since I was a little kid. But immigrants think this country of America is so great and so wonderful and so perfect. Give me a fucking break. You immigrants just have this seriously false idea, false belief, false narrative, false notion of what America actually is. Most people are living in poverty in this country. America has probably, if anything, the biggest homeless crisis. Oh, and also, most Americans in general are poor. Most Americans will not ever be rich or successful. Most of us Americans will die poor, will die broke, will die in poverty, and will never, ever catch a break. We have it bad here, in case you don't already know. And only a very tiny, small, minuscule, micro portion or percentage or group of people here in this country of America are rich or are successful. But you know, when it comes to those people, they got lucky. They got lucky. That's all I can say about them. They were blessed. They were fortunate. That's all I can really say when it comes to those very few people here in the country of America that are actually rich and successful. Regardless of why they are rich and successful, they got lucky. They're blessed. They're fortunate. They're spoiled. They're privileged. Whatever. But most of us Americans are poor as fuck, and that is the exact way that we will remain until the day we die and leave this world. We'll die broke. We'll die poor as fuck. We'll die at rock bottom. Most of us here in America will never have the life that we dream of, or that we hope for, or that we crave, that we desire, that we want, that we wish to have. Most of us have severely miserable, depressing, stressful, heartbreaking, crushing lives that we live until we die. Our lives, for most of us, are very gray and bleak. And you know what? I'm never going to stop being jealous and envious of anyone who is rich or who is successful, because I wish I was like those people. I would love to be like those people. I crave to be like those people. I desire and long and yearn to be like those people. But I'm not. And that's the reality of my life. That's what I must accept and deal with. Because I don't have it good, and I never did. I didn't have the resources and materials to ever try to make my life the life that I always wanted it to be. And you know what? I want a job because obviously I want to and need to make money. But guess what? I hate fucking jobs because they take your energy. And you know, no jobs have the kind of shift that I want. And what is the shift that I want exactly? Well, I would love if there were a job that existed that were, say, 1 p.m. to 11 p.m., just 10 hours and no longer, and only 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and then at least, at the very minimum, have 3 days off, Friday through Sunday. Because I think working 5 days a week, 6 days a week is expecting too much. I think working 4 days a week should be plenty, but it's not, of course. Because job managers or bosses or owners or whatever, or monster corporations, they love to overwork us Americans. They love to just expect and require and demand way too much of us. And they don't care about us. They don't love us. They don't respect us. If we get hurt on the job, if we die on the job, we're replaceable. Nobody gives a damn about us. Nobody gives a fuck or a shit about any of us because we're replaceable at the end of the day. Our lives mean nothing to our managers, to our bosses, to the owners of these monster corporations, which is exactly what they are. They are monster corporations because they're run by monsters. They're controlled by monsters. I think 4 days a week should be plenty of work. I think every person should at least have 4 days off. Or, have the people who prefer working during the week, Monday through Thursday, work 4 days a week, and then have people who prefer working on the weekends work Friday through Sunday. Have something like that. But of course, that doesn't exist. And the only people who even get more than just 2 lousy, lame, pathetic, pitiful days off of Saturday and Sunday are those who work fucking 12-hour shifts or 10-hour and a half, 11-hour shifts. Bullshit. I hate that. Pisses me off. You know what? I can barely even work an 8-hour shift because I don't even have that much experience yet of working even an 8-hour shift. And people who work an 8-hour shift are expected and required to work 5 whole damn days a week. But people who work 10-hour and a half, 11-hour, 12-hour shifts, they get like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. They get 3 days off or 4 days off or whatever. Or people who work 12-hour shifts will have like two days of work, 5 days off 1 week, and then the next week they'll have 5 days to work and only 2 days off, or something like that, which is called a swing shift. And yet so many of you immigrants think America is just such a wonderful, magnificent, perfect, great, amazing, awesome, incredible, outstanding, fantastic place in this whole world. Yeah, give me a fucking break. You immigrants have been lied to. You've been led astray. You've been brainwashed and manipulated into having this fake, false idea, belief, or narrative or notion of this country of America and what it actually is as a country. As if anything, a collapsing, corrupt, broken, damaged, torn apart, split in half country that is just going straight into the ground, or should I say, sewer. I hate this country. I really do. Because this country didn't do me any good at all, ever. I don't even really feel like I belong in this country or that like I'm an American. I don't feel loved, cared about, respected, accepted for who and what I am as a man and as a person, because I'm an outcast, an outsider, a loner, a reject of society, somebody who's just been cast away, left out, excluded, forgotten about. And I just honestly can't believe when immigrants have the ability and have the privilege to move out of their third world countries that they don't want to go to the UK or Europe or Germany. They don't want to go to Australia. They don't want to go to Canada. They just always want to come here to America. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess it does when immigrants who come over here to America who are even lucky enough of being able to do so get free money and free housing, and or at least nice job, nice car, free housing and shit like that. Like, it's unfair. It really is so unfair to us real, regular, normal Americans who never get shit like that and never will. And, you know, you immigrants can get helped and supported way more than any of us Americans, than any of us everyday, average, ordinary Americans. You get all the help. You get all the support. You get all the backup or whatever. But we get nothing. We get nothing at all. I hate this country. I really do. But there's nothing I can really do about it because I don't have the power or ability to change anything that I really hate about this country. And you know, just like earlier in the video when I said I think 4 days a week should be plenty of work for workers, regardless of what they do or what shift they have, first, second, or third, or what their hours are. Just in the same way, I think 4 days of school should be enough. I think that should be plenty. You know, when I was in like elementary, middle school, and high school, I thought to myself, you know what? Why is school 5 days a week? Why? Why can't it at least be 4 and just be at that? Just 4 days a week and then 3 days off. At least 3 days. 3 days off. Just being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And why can't jobs be only 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for like the people who prefer like working on the weekends? Those be the people who work on those days. And those people would even have more days off because they would have 4 days off and would only have to work 3 days a week. But then the people who work during the week should at least get 4 days off. I mean, not 4, 3. I'm sorry. The people who prefer and like working during the week, Monday through Thursday, should at least get 3 days off. At least Friday through Sunday. And then the people who prefer working the weekends, Friday to Saturday and Sunday, only work 3 days a week. And then the people who would be the weekend workers, they would have 4 days off. Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, just bear with me. I'm kind of making some mistakes and messing up a bit, but just please bear with me. But yeah, I mean, I'm so sick and tired of also people in America acting like I have it so much better and greater and have so many more opportunities and privileges and advantages and whatnot compared to fucking people in third world countries. I'm fired up about that because I don't. And you know what? People in third world countries are not my problem. I feel sorry for them. I feel bad for them, if I'm going to be completely honest here. But guess what? I can't do anything about it because I don't have that power, ability, or money or know-how. And when it comes to just here in America with first world problems, I'm suffering like hell. I have it really bad for somebody born and raised in America who also is a white guy, a white person. My life is fucked up. My life is screwed. I'm so sick and tired of people saying and acting like I have it just so perfect and so wonderful, so great, and so magnificent, and so this and so that, just because of the simple fact that I'm a American and that I'm a white guy and that I was born and raised here. Oh yeah, and what good did it actually do for me in the long run? Nothing, because I wasn't raised in a place with opportunities. No thanks to my parents. I love them. I care about them. I respect them. But they didn't really do me good. And that's the fact. That's the reality. That's the truth about them. They didn't give me the upbringing they should have. You know, so many other parents are way more considerate, generous, compassionate, understanding, and thoughtful and whatnot of their kids. And most parents, when they have kids and when they're raising kids, actually want to raise them in places where there actually will be jobs or opportunities or whatever, and as close as possible to them as possible. But not my parents. My parents didn't care. My parents didn't want to. And yet they wonder why I never really tried to get a job. And you know, I don't really have help and support to get a driver's license or anything like that. I'm just stuck. I'm trapped. I feel suffocated. I'm just emotionally falling apart, as you can all clearly tell. But yeah, I have it so great and so wonderful and so perfect. I have it so amazing and just so out of this world. I just have it so nice compared to immigrants. Give me a fucking break. You're a moron if you believe that. You know, I wish I could just go anywhere I wanted to, either in this country or another country, but I can't. And you know what I also hate? And I'm going to end this video by saying this to all of you immigrants. You know what I also find annoying about you? You can come to America and you can become an American citizen. You can. But an American can't go to another country and claim to be from that country and claim to be a part of that country or a citizen of that country. Because at the end of the day, we're Americans. Like, I can't go to the UK and just be like, I'm English now. I'm a citizen of London. Or I can't go to Germany or Europe or whatever. I can't go to Japan or China or whatever. I can't go to Australia or Canada or whatever and claim to just be somebody from those countries and claim to be a citizen of either of those countries. But any of you immigrants can come over here to America and claim to be American and say you are and label yourself as one or say that you're an American citizen. It's annoying. It's annoying that you, as immigrants, have that privilege. But us Americans, if we tried to do exactly what you do and go to other countries, we couldn't do that. We wouldn't have that advantage. We wouldn't have that privilege, unlike so many of you have. When you come to America, you're automatically American. Just instantly. You're American. You're labeled as one. You're considered as one or whatever. But any of us go to another country, any of us Americans, no, it's not going to happen. We can't just go to another country and claim to be from there originally or say that we are from another country or label ourselves as one or consider ourselves as someone from another country. It doesn't work for us like that. But for you immigrants, it does. And so that's really annoying. But that's all I wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.